Shock and latch are two of the primary tactics that we use in the Medusa Edged Weapons System. This is exactly the same as preemptively striking and attaching as combatives instructors such as Lee Morrison would advocate you to do. These are really good tactics. But keep in mind that just because we do shock, latch, and stab in Medusa doesn't mean that's all we do. We are capable of changing our level of force to suit the situation. But if you're protecting yourself and you don't want to preemptively strike when you get the opportunity, you are leaving yourself behind the 8 ball. You are leaving yourself at disadvantage, because the reality is, if you're defending, you're probably losing the fight. If you know that violence is going to happen, or if you feel through understanding cues on violence and how aggression is set up and what the pre-attack cues are that people give, if you think that a person is going to get violent with you for sure, then you shouldn't wait for that person to get violent with you. You should attack first, especially if they stepped into a base where they are ready to launch an attack. This is time for you to preemptively strike, to hit them, to take away their attack plans, to confuse them, to overwhelm them, and to hopefully knock them out of the game by rattling the brain, by affecting their breathing, by knocking them unconscious, by taking them off their feet, and so many other things that you can do through preemptive striking. The beauty of the latch also is when I'm hanging on to somebody, if I feel them falling, I have choices. I can help them fall faster if I want to make sure they don't get up quickly, or I can cradle their head and try to keep their head from hitting the pavement. I can use this as an opportunity to get away rather than staying in a situation where my entire goal is to find myself a pathway to safety. This type of training is why clinch work in Muay Thai is so worthwhile to do, because most violence is in that range, close up. Most violence is close enough where we can smell each other's breath. This is why arts like judo, Muay Thai, any kind of stand-up grappling is so important. The latch can lead to so many things, and it can be a great tactic. This is why it's so important to remember that these are tactics. This is not set in stone. You have to be adaptable. You have to use this base of movement and tactics to be able to adapt to whatever situation you're in. Nothing is going to be perfect. Nothing is going to work out perfect. This will fail you sometimes. So avoidance, escape, de-escalation, and all of those other soft skills are far more important in the end. But this is for when all of those skills fail, because sometimes they will. And to be quite honest, I would rather have something simple and brutal than something advanced and complicated at my disposal if I find myself in that worst case scenario of violence. If you understand the fact that each one of us has to be our own first responder, that each one of us are responsible for our own safety, then you will see why these kinds of skills are important in our modern world. Because sometimes, not often, but sometimes, ugly shit happens, and we may have to be the ones who step up to stop it. Having these skills may help us be more apt to be willing to put ourselves in danger, to step up if we see an innocent person being victimized.